Good afternoon. This week we are talking about denominational diversity. So the denomination I've chosen is the Baptist denomination. The Baptist denominations had a varied yet very steady role in the history of the United States. Since colonial times, Baptists have been staunch proponents of religious freedom. So from Roger Williams to the Baptists in Virginia pushing back against the stronghold of the Anglicans, there the Baptist Church has stood kind of at the vanguard in the fight for religious tolerance in the country. Baptists have also been involved in social justice movements as well, as you will, from the abolition of slavery to the civil rights movement of the 1960s. And then lastly, Baptist music has played a big role in our country's history as well. Religious tolerance, when it comes to religious tolerance, the first of the three things I want to talk about. The first Baptist in the United States was Roger Williams. So Roger Williams is a religious dissenter who is in Massachusetts, and he leaves Massachusetts and he goes to Rhode Island, and he establishes this new colony there for religious dissenters such as himself or for someone like Anne Hutchinson. So this is the first of the Baptists. So this is or in our early colonial history, Roger Williams. Then if you look at the First Great Awakening, which we've discussed in class recently, the Baptist Church in Virginia grew tremendously, even in light of the Anglican Church being the state church in Virginia, or in opposition to that. And it grew out of that to the point that eventually, through the efforts of Jefferson and Madison, the state church status for the Anglicans was removed. Today, Baptists tend to be at the forefront of the fight for religious freedom in the United States as well, whenever religious beliefs come under attack from government entities or the cultural milieu of the day. Second part we talk about is the social justice. So there's a book by Briggs that we used that is in our bibliography, and he talked about it's a collection of Baptist sermons on abolition. So a lot of these sermons about abolition, a lot of these beliefs about abolition in the Baptist Church grew out of the Arminian belief of free will. So the conclusion that many Baptists came to at the time was that in this Arminian belief, moving away from Calvinism, was that if we have free will, then all people, black or white, should be free. So then that evolved into this push for abolition, the abolition of slavery, and then this preaching of that from the pulpit in the Baptist Church. There's a lot of dissension among Baptists over whether slavery was scriptural or not. Many try to say that if slavery was not scriptural, because it's in the Bible, then that the whole Bible could be fallible. While most people saw the moral degradation and treatment of black people in America at the time for what it was, and then they pushed for abolition. So the vast majority really probably were pushing for abolition in the Baptist Church. There were people who were not as well, though. And then of course you have the civil rights movement in the 1960s. You got a lot of Baptist ministers who were involved in that, especially in the southern states. So the Baptist movement or social justice from abolition to the temperance movements in the mid-19th century and on forward, and then on to the civil rights movement. Baptists have been involved in the social justice movement. And then lastly, music. The vast majority of music that you hear in church today, in Protestant churches, whether it's Hillsong or Elevation or anything like that, to traditional hymns or somewhere in between, pretty much owes its roots and its growth to the Baptist hymns written over the last couple of centuries. One of the major components of Baptist hymns throughout this time has been that they've really stuck to the fidelity of Scripture. And because of that, I think that has made it where so many of these hymns have been able to stand the test of time and are still being used across the world today.